Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date, it is May 2nd of 2020, and I'm using OBS right now. You're running Windows 10, and I'm using OBS right now. I think the audio's okay. I checked it, sounds good, um, but I don't know. This computer I have, this PC computer, it's an old one, a i5, but I think that there's um, something wrong with the audio chip in it or something. It's just always been sort of a pain. Seems like every time I make some kind of a change, something goes wrong. Uh, I don't think I've made a video for uh, it says 2 days ago. That doesn't seem right. It seems like a longer. I guess that's correct. YouTube doesn't lie, right? Um, I think about Monday, my ex-wife, who's on Social Security, uh, received her $1,200. And so I thought, well, the next day or two I would receive mine. I'm on Social Security. And every, I check every day, for the direct deposit. No direct deposit. And the people on YouTube that are making a whole bunch of videos about, and they're getting a lot of traffic, about the stimulus and that type of thing. They've all pretty much said, well, the uh, Social Security direct deposits, they're going out, this week. Well, it is now uh, Saturday. And my understanding in the past was that the Treasury Department is not sending out um, those direct deposits on Saturday and Sundays. And my understanding, and I could be wrong, is so we have like Monday coming up. So uh, my understanding from from the past was that on a weekday they generate the direct deposits. They send them out, like during the daytime, to the banks and whatever, the direct deposits. They send out the data, and then the some banks now are, even though it shows that it uh, to the bank that they've got this, and then they show to their, and then they just go ahead and give them the banks, or some banks, not Wells Fargo, uh, are just they give them the money, and then in the next day or whatever, then it is a credit, put in their account, officially shows in. Well, I guess it officially shows in their account anyway. But the way I guess it works, so I'm guessing that tonight there's no reason for me to check. I will, of course, check my bank, and Sunday at night, 2:30 in the morning, wherever, I'll check it. But I'm guessing that Monday during the daytime they send that data out. The banks know, and or whatever other institutions they know, and then at whatever time, which for my bank is like 2:30 in the morning, so it'd be Tuesday morning at 2:30 in the morning, they go ahead and credit, and that's the way it's going to be. So I'm not expecting to get the money for the next couple of days, but I've been expecting to get it every day. Uh, so kind of disappointing. I mean, uh, here it is already into May, and uh, it should be. Uh, I would think easy. I know, of course, I know that the federal government is working with computers that are, 50 or 60 years old, and we haven't, the government doesn't want to upgrade infrastructure. They want to do things that are going to, get them votes, get them reelected, or something. So they don't want to fix pipes that are, bridges that are about to fall down, and pipes that have lead in them, and all these things. They don't want. Now maybe they will want to do that in order to create jobs, get people to work, and whatever. Um, so back to the Treasury Department, and I understand that there's not one computer system that's all, I guess, hooked in where they can just pull up the data or get the data or get access to everything. Uh, I get Social Security, and that comes from the Social Security Administration, and they do an excellent job of. I mean, I signed up for it, and every month I get a direct deposit of my Social Security. Never had any problem. I mean, I change an address or something. Uh, I just contact Social Security, taken care of. And now I guess I shouldn't be feeling sorry for myself because, of all people, United States veterans, you retired veterans, uh, they haven't got their money yet. It's they're behind us, and it. I mean, like the Social Security Administration has all our data. Uh, where the money goes and where we are and our date of birth and our Social Security number and everything. And I'm sure the Veterans Administration or whatever, they have all that information. So it seems to me like that it would have been, and I can understand maybe trying to get this stimulus, the $1,200 out to the people that needed it the most. But I don't know. This has been a real mess, and I hope that we all, the government and the people in power, I hope they learn something, and they look at this and okay, what can we do to fix things? I guess some of us would be afraid of having one massive computer system that all of the data is in there, because we've got some people that are really into the conspiracy thing, and they're going to think that okay, the government is going to pick out these categories and then send out the blue helmeted UN foreign troops to take us into custody and take away our guns, and to put us in the basement of Walmarts that have been dug out, and so. But as somebody that's really into computers, like a lot of us are nowadays, I'd like for the government to have a good computer system that works and dependable. And so anyway, here I'm sitting. Myself, my ex-wife, my grown kids, all that type of stuff. We're all okay. It's the people who. Now, my one son, he has been working. He just got his, belatedly, he's been working for a long time to get his bachelor's degree. He's got his bachelor's degree now. But he's been working for years at, 911 dispatcher, FAA, not an air traffic controller, but the weather person with the FAA that gives, takes the flight plans of pilots and that, and now he's working at a very small, in Washington, D.C. area, very small bookkeeping, I think, place. And he just now got his bachelor's degree. So all of us are really doing okay. We're not, the only way we're hurting is, making sure we have a supply of toilet paper or food, and the fact that we can't. But I don't go out much anyway, and my ex-wife is wheelchair, bound, and so it's. I mean, we're okay. So I want the stimulus and everything to take care of the people who need it, and but it just seems like I didn't get upset, but like the last couple of nights, it's like, because I actually, I say we're okay, but we're on Social Security and there's no extra money. We have enough money to pay, we're not like somebody who has, was working and has to work, and then they are sent home. They don't have a job, but they have their rent and utilities and have to feed their kids and all that type of stuff, and they don't have any money. But anyway, I'm wanting to do the thing that's going to help the United States. See how patriotic I am? And buy something, so that people will go, when they go back to work, they'll, be customers buying things. I want to buy an iPad. And I've been I looked at them and I picked out what I want, and I've been looking at all the YouTube videos and deciding on what accessories I want to get with it, and looking at the YouTube videos on what you can do with it. I watched a bunch of medical students. Well, I think they're doctors now, some of them. But man, their ability to organize things and whatever, it's like, wow. So I'm a little depressed. Because the last few days I've been looking at, Amazon and saying, okay, if I get my stimulus money, I can order and it'll be here, my iPad will be here the next day. That's, that's pretty, because I'm one of those impatient people. When I want something, I want it right now. So, what else did I want to tell you? Hulu. On Hulu, there's a movie. It's an old movie, The Slums of Beverly Hills. I really like that movie, and I recommend it to you. Okay, it's not just because I get to see tits, a few tits, and whatever. No, I think it's a really good movie. Really enjoyed it. So it's The Slums of Beverly Hills. So what else has been going on? We've been eating really well because my ex-wife, if she sees that toilet paper is available at Walmart or Amazon or something, then she'll order some food and click and order the toilet paper. So I think we're getting in a $30 order, I think, or $30 or $40 order today. We got one in a couple of days ago that was a $200 order, I think. So we're doing okay. I just had a pasta salad. I've been eating, trying to eat better. I've been eating chef salad, turkey and, lettuce and, of course, and whatever, a few other ingredients that you put in there out of the, it comes sealed and you rip it off, and then little container of, and you dump that in there. And but I had a pasta salad. They were out of, and they substituted, and my grown son and my ex-wife, I'm not interested in it. And so I finally ate it. It was okay. I just had it a while ago for breakfast. Okay, what's going on? Wow, this was kind of a surprise. Gallup, New Mexico. All of this just seems sort of unreal. Does it seem that way to you all? I think it just seems that I'm 79 years old, and I've uh, never seen anything like this. Here's roads in the United States, closed going into Gallup, New Mexico. Do you think really that actually there's not the virus there, but that a UFO landed there? I think that might be it. Uh, but it turns out that meat workers have, and I think there's I saw it someplace on the headlines. Uh, Pork. Well, I think not just pork, but uh, some of them I think have gone walked off the job, and meat workers or meat Hormel. Is it Hormel? What's the one that's Tyson? Tyson, and I think Tyson is chicken. Maybe some other stuff. Uh, uh, they're not getting the. I guess because of the type of work that they do, and I work all my life. I worked. I don't think there's ever a day that I didn't have a job, and usually worked two jobs. I had a full-time job for 30 years. I worked hospital security, and then I worked other jobs, before and after that. And then for a lot of those years, I had a second, a contract security job that I worked someplace. And for a while, when I was working the contract security, I was one of the security officers that was at a meat packing, plant or whatever, and I saw those people. An awful lot of them, immigrants or not sure how to put it, but they were hard because we were stationed at a gate, and we had the area to check, try to make sure people didn't throw hams and turkeys over the fence and then get it and take it home. But then occasionally we didn't go through. I don't remember going through the entire. I mean, we didn't go through the place where they were slaughtering the, and having blood splatter on us or whatever. But we were out in the, inside, and all hard-working people. That's a hard job. They're not anybody who does that kind of job is not lazy, and it's really kind of dangerous. I think also, because they're using sharp instruments, and there's tremendous, you know, carcasses or whatever hanging up, swinging, being moved, and whatever. So this is a new group of people that we know. Hey, we've been taking you. Oh, I love meat. I love pork chops. Love hamburgers. I think we all do. Uh, so that's a new group of people that we really, you don't think about. But man, are you glad that those people are out there, doing that job? Um, New White House press secretary. You can see the headline. I won't have to talk about it. And this, White House blocks Fuchsia, or whatever his name is, from testifying in the House, but he will be permitted to testify in the Senate. So the White House, President Trump is, here is a doctor and a scientist, impeccable credentials, and the White House won't let him testify before House committees and answer questions, but they'll let him go to the Senate, which is controlled by the Republicans, because they know that the Senate senators are not going to ask any. But this is the White House shouldn't be blocking him and other people from testifying before Congress. Uh, Looks like they're working really hard to come up with a vaccine for this virus. And I hope, please in the future, let's not, let's, we have a defense department and we spend, I don't know what an aircraft carrier costs, $1 billion. And I live right close to what used to be Carswell Air Force Base, and that's, what's the company? That's they're developing this newest fighter aircraft, which is so expensive, and people have been saying for it's still being it's developed, and they're out, they fly over here, but we and we have a standing military. We have the largest military in the world. We're number one in what we spend for the military. If you take China, Russia, and all the other countries that underneath us, and you add all of them together, what they spend doesn't come near what we spend. We spend a lot on the military, and I think the American people really are. Well, we know there's a lot of waste. We know there's a lot of corruption, but we want that because we've been caught. World War One, we didn't hardly have any military. World War II started, we didn't hardly have any military, and I think we've learned our lesson from that. But what we need to do is also do the same with things like viruses or whatever. The CDC and all these other organizations, they need to be funded. They need to be, we need to pay the doctors and the scientists and the chemists and all these people and have them ready. Just like you have to have the Weather Bureau ready, You don't know when a hurricane is going to come or a tornado or whatever. So you need to be spending, for that. And we don't do those things the way we should. It's like, cut the money to this agency, cut the money to that, It's not cut the money to the military, although the military, we love to spend, $1 billion for an aircraft carrier, and I think China has like one aircraft carrier, I believe. I think we have like, I don't know what do we have, 14, 15 aircraft carriers or more? And I think the rest of the world is the same thing. What does the UK have? Do they have 2? Maybe, I'm guessing. Maybe 3, and we have, I don't know how many, because we're willing to spend that money because in the making of those things, people are working. And then the senators, and the congressmen, they vote for it because, okay, you're going to build an aircraft carrier. Okay, I'm a congressman from, Pennsylvania, and I insist that the anchors be made in, in Pennsylvania. And then another congressman, okay, I want the, and it's, I don't see how you get around that with the way the political system is, but so I'm looking at these headlines. Houston police helicopter crashes. One pilot dies, another in critical condition. In the past, I've watched some of these police chases or whatever. I think that's really dangerous. You have multiple helicopters up there. You have a police helicopter or whatever, and then you have news helicopters up there, and it's a wonder. Also, like I said, I worked 30 years hospital security, and there was one in our area, one uh, hospital helicopter that crashed. I think more, might have been two. Can't remember, but we haven't really had any trouble getting hold of toilet paper. Really, my ex-wife has this thing. So we've got. You may see some sitting around here. We don't have room to. Now don't. Hey, don't. Now we're not hoarders or anything, but we do have. We have enough. Uh, well, I guess I'll let me re-enter. Let me recap. I'm waiting for my $1,200, and when I get it, I sometimes I think, oh no, But I guess as of right now, I'm going to buy an iPad and a few accessories, and try to and learn the Apple system, and try to make YouTube videos that I hope will be better using the Apple iPad. And I think it'd be kind of fun. I'm kind of tired of. Sometimes what I need to do is, I'll do that way when I get the iPad. I should show you. I'm going to look up and show you over the years, uh, the computers that I've actually owned. I don't have them, and I don't even have any pictures of them, but I'll find the pictures on the internet and show you, the Radio Shack Model 1, the Tandy 2000, the Tandy 2000, the first Tandy, whatever they called it, that was PC, 100% PC compatible, the VIC 20, the Commodore 64s. I owned a whole bunch of them. Uh, Commodore SX 64, whatever. That's maybe why I have arthritis. And a screen was, okay, it was a color screen, but it was like this big. My eyes were okay then. I couldn't see it. Of course, you could plug it which I didn't do. I mean, I think I bought it and I hardly used it. Oh, that's just, anyway. And that's just the beginning. So I am looking forward to getting the iPad, because I think I can make doing stuff like that, make some pretty interesting uh, things. And I think as I understand it, it's very easy to hook my Panasonic G7 with the proper adapter into the iPad, so I can be using that camera. So anyway, I've talked enough. Uh, Please use some of the links below if you can, especially the Amazon links. Uh, the last 2 months I've made $15 each month. $15. That's wow. I mean, I better look around and buy me a yacht if I continue to make that kind of money. But anyway, $15 is more than I've made from YouTube. So if you can use those links, please do. It doesn't cost you anything. Thank you very much for listening to my diatribe. Is that the correct word? Thank you very much.